Cardinals rookie Kyler Murray steps back on the field tonight against the Raiders in his second preseason game. Cards GM Steve Keim obviously thinks highly of the rookie by taking him #1 overall and calling him a generational talent. However, there has been skepticism around the league if the Heisman winner's electric style and short stature will translate from the college to the pros. All right, Reggie Bush, you have some experience in that area.
Which one, the stature or the talent?
I'll let him answer that. What do you expect to see from Kyler Murray as he adjusts from the Big 12 to the NFL?
Well, it's going to be tough because I believe Kyler Murray is on a team with a bunch of unproven guys. We can start with the head coach, who there's going to be a grace period, I think, that everybody's going to need to adjust to, because Kyler Murray, not only is he on a team with not a lot of weapons, but he's also in a division that's very tough. And the one thing I worry about for Kyler Murray is, can they protect him, right? Because in the last preseason game, we saw some good throws, we saw some rhythm throws, we saw some good decision-making, and then we saw that offensive line breakdown. And so to me, that's the one thing I'm worried about, because you got to block Aaron Donald, right? The best, you know, people have referred to him as the Michael Jordan of football right now. And he doesn't have a ton of weapons around him on top of that, right? He got a lot of unproven guys. You have a good running back in David Johnson, but David Johnson has struggled last year. He struggled over the last couple of years. So to me, there's going to be a figuring it out period with the head coach, you know, with the quarterback. And it's going to be tough for him. You know, I don't want to sit there and say, is he a generational player? Everybody's a generational player coming out of college, right? Like, we all had success in college, or else we would have never made it to the NFL. But what you did in college does not help you in the NFL, period. Sorry.
But I was going to say, but the GM, Keim, like, to put that out there on him. I know Keim is under the, you know,
Mike, fire.
He's under the fire
He's
because
under the fire right now.
He has to put all his chips in. But that puts added pressure on a guy who's trying to make that transition, who's a little smaller than everybody. So right away, if they struggle or whatever, it'll be like generational.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you could be a generational player on a bad football team, right? Like, I've seen more players' careers get killed because of bad systems that they're in, because of maybe the coaching wasn't right for them, right? We've seen also players who have gone to other teams and have great careers because of the system that they were in. A guy that I played with, I got drafted with, Rob Ninkovich, right? When I was in New Orleans, we cut Rob Ninkovich twice. I believe Sean Payton even said to Ninkovich, he didn't think he would be any more than a long snapper, right? So then, and I think this is, you know, public knowledge. I think Sean has even joked about this before, but then looking at what Rob Ninkovich did with the New England Patriots, to me, that's a matter of systems, right? It's a matter of coaching, right? Like, when you go to a system with good coaching, you got good pieces around you, oh, it's great. It's lovely. But when you're on a team where you have to be the guy, you have to, and everybody's depending on you, that's a lot of pressure.
Perfect example is Draymond Green with Golden State. And that circumstance and situation was perfect.
But the other question, we talked about this earlier, Reggie, if they don't hire Cliff Kingsbury, does Kyler Murray go #1 overall?
I don't think so.
I don't think anybody thinks that.
I don't think so at all. And I was reading up some articles last night where the GM was talking about how he was actually watching games to watch Quentin Williams or some other guys, and he couldn't take his eyes off of Kyler Murray. And so, does it fit with Cliff Kingsbury's system? Yes, it does. I think it fits better than what Josh Rosen would have fit. But his rest of his career is going to be tied to this guy right here. Cliff Kingsbury and the GM, their career is going to be tied to him.
I like Kingsbury a lot, but let's remember, he was fired from a school that didn't do much last year in the middle of the season. Greg, go ahead.
I don't need to go ahead. I mean, I know what the expectations are, but for me, when I look at Kyler Murray, you talk about a growing process and the growing pains. That's what it's going to always be for a young quarterback coming in. But for Kyler Murray and his ability to lead and be endorsed by your general manager, by your head coach, having that endorsement in and of itself alone gives you an added confidence to a player who already knows in his own mind how good he really is and what he can bring to the table. Now, is he going to completely right the ship? No, because they have a lot of holes and voids to fill, specifically right in front of him, that are going to be protecting him. That is not on Kyler Murray. But what I think he will provide is an opportunity for those guys to buy even more time because his escapability, because of his ability to extend plays and keep his eyes down the field and still make plays. He is the type of player that will make guys around him better.
See, I'm with Reggie, though.
No, hold on. We talk about Dak Prescott and them needing to bring guys around him to elevate his level of play and to improve who he is. That's the difference between a guy like him, he and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is the type of guy you insert, and he's going to automatically elevate the guy's level of play around him because he has that game-breaking skill set, both dual running and passing the ball.
But I'm with Reggie from the standpoint that sometimes you put a guy who's a talented guy on a really bad team, and all of a sudden he can't do those things that he doesn't have the time. He's getting pummeled. Everybody's looking and going, oh, wait a minute, Kyler Murray's supposed to be this and that. And that's what I worry about with this organization that has made a lot of blunders over the years.
And I say this with all due respect to Kyler Murray, because I do think he's a great talent, but he's not the first running quarterback. He's not the first quarterback with escapability, right? Like, there's a guy named Aaron Rodgers who you play with, who to me is a genius, who is a mastermind at escaping, and even he has gotten hurt, right?
He doesn't have the speed.
No.
And he doesn't, but he can buy more time for his receivers.
But why is he so good? Because it's the difference between a running quarterback and a dual threat quarterback. Like Lamar Jackson, that is a running quarterback first. Like, primarily his thought, when things break down, I'm running, I'm taking off. Kyler Murray is not that way. We heard Eric Mangini even said he has poise enough to where, in a pocket presence, to where I'm going to stand in there. I know I have my legs as a scapegoat, as my last resource, but it's not primary. I'm going to use my legs secondary, but my arm is everything that I need.
I feel so bad for this kid, man. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers in the same sentence as Kyler Murray. I mean, Aaron Rodgers played, what, 2 years at Cal, sat for 3 years behind Brett Favre. Kyler Murray had 17 starts in college and is now going in where they're calling him a generational talent. This is a guy, Baker Mayfield and Russell Wilson are kind of the prototypes, smaller quarterbacks. They had 46 starts in college, Reggie. I mean, how much does the reps matter?
But they matter a lot, a lot. And listen, for Kyler Murray, you know, the biggest question is, are they going to be able to protect him, right? Because even with the reps, we can sit here and talk about all the reps that he did or didn't get at the college level. He was great in college, period. Dwayne Haskins was great in college.
14 starts.
50 touchdowns in one season, right? Like, there's going to be a grace period that Ohio State fans are going to need to adjust to, because I'm not sure if Justin Fields can go out there and give them that same production. But in the sense of Kyler Murray, the one thing I worry about with defenses and defensive coordinators is they know he's short, and they know that in order for him to create more time to open up windows for his receivers, he's got to do what? He's got to escape. He's got to do some things with his legs, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to blitz him from all edges, or they're going to make sure that their defensive linemen rush those gaps. Don't let him outside that pocket. Keep him in there and just put your hands up and make it ugly for him.
Alabama did that a lot early in the title game. Quick note on the offensive line. The Cardinals used 13 different starters on the offensive line last year, the most anybody's used in the last 18 years. That's a bad sign for Kyler Murray.
That is not a good sign for Kyler Murray.
You mentioned Justin Fields in college football. Let's pivot there. We love college football. I haven't had a chance to talk a lot about it. Many things. I know you're geeked for the new show. Tell us about college football.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be back in college football. You know, I can't wait. I'm with a great supporting cast, Matt Leinart, Brady Quinn, and Coach Urban Meyer, man. Who doesn't want to work with one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game? I'm back with my brother, Matt. Me and Brady are already hitting it off, having a good time. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's crazy because so much of the college game has changed, right? Like, everything is RPO now. Everything. Everybody's offense is RPO. Everybody wants to score as many touchdowns as fast as they can. So the game has changed, right? And so I'm learning so much just about how much it's changed. But there's also a lot of great players, man. I was studying up on guys last night, guys like Rondale Moore, guys like Laviska Shenault.
Purdue?
from Purdue.
Yeah, he's
114 receptions as a rookie, as a freshman.
Yeah, he's a
114.
Are we going to still see the same two teams at the end of the year, though, in the championship, or something different?
Everybody get ready. It's going to be Alabama Clemson.
Can we fast forward to the
Just go ahead, fast forward.
Wait, we can't fast forward without this. Who are you more excited to see next year, Tua or Trevor Lawrence?
Ooh, I got to go with the new kid on the block, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Because Tua, listen, I'm a fan of greatness, and I think sometimes people can kind of get bored with greatness, right? Because Tua has been doing it at a high level for a while. Trevor Lawrence is like this new kid on the block that it's like, well, where'd this guy come from? He took his team to the national championship in the first season, right? Won it, threw 6 touchdowns in the playoffs, no interceptions. Like, we're talking about a freshman. I think he was barely 18 years old. Dude's still wet behind the ears.
Well, that's why I'm so excited, because he's not only doing it as a freshman, but his main target, a freshman was a freshman as well. So they're going to grow and excel together. It's going to be impressive.
Maybe USC will be a 500 team.
Yeah, maybe.
Get this.
Just like that.
I got to go out on that. I didn't mention Chip Kelly, at least. Get this. Jimmy Garoppolo threw 5 straight interceptions at practice yesterday. Wait till you hear what Greg has to say about his guy, Jimmy G. That's next.